So today we're going to be using Pencil 2D. It's usually used more for animations, but it can also be used for 2D drawings. So we're just going to make a basic animation today. If you go to Tools, we're going to select Pen. And then over here is the options where you can change the width, the pressure of it, and then the stabilizer if you want it to be a pretty strong line. Okay, so then we're going to use the color black right now just to make it simple. If you wanted to add color, there is a color wheel over here as well. You'll have to select one of these and then, or you can, actually draw with that color, you'll have to come down here to the color palette and select an option, and then it'll let you use it. So then we're just going to draw a simple figure today. So there's the head. Going to give him a little body, some legs, and arms. Can't forget the face. Okay, he's a happy guy. So what we want to do next, we want to create a new frame or a new layer. So you would go to Animation on the top bar, just go down. We have Add Frame, Duplicate Frame, and Remove Frame. You're going to hit Add Frame, and you can also hit F7 on your computer just as a shortcut instead. So Add Frame, and then we have a blank one now. And then if you go down to the bottom here, it shows you how many frames you have. So we only have 2 right now. And then it shows you the checkpoints that goes at multiples of 12. So if you can click back on the 1, we'll see our original drawing. And then we have 2, but we can't see, because since we're trying to animate, it is difficult to animate if you can't see what you drew. So we're going to go over here to the left. You can go under View, and then Onion Skin. I already have it up on mine, but you can go to Onion Skin, and you want to make sure it's on the previous layer. So now we're in our second frame, but we can see what we did in our first frame. And then over here in the sidebar, we have the previous frames, which is selected, next frames, and then you can mess with the opacity of it. So if you wanted to, because this is like fairly light compared to the actual drawing, you can click back to it, and then it gets lighter, because we haven't drawn anything on this one yet. You can increase the opacity or decrease it depending on what you prefer. And so we're going to go over this one, and then we're just going to follow the outline. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's kind of hard to get that way if you're drawing on a computer, not with a tablet or anything. It should be fine. Okay. So we're just going to make small adjustments to him with his arms down. Put his eyes on there again. And now switching back from 1 to 2, you can see that small movement. And then we're going to do the same thing as before and add another frame to it. Okay. And then you can see, depending on how dark the line is, that's how many layers are on that. So the more layers that cross that line or overlap that line, the darker it's going to be, and the ones that are lighter are farther away. So it's layer 1, and then layer 2 is the darker one, and then we're on layer 3 now. Then we're going to do, we're still going to trace him again, so go ahead and go over his head, and then I made my little small, so I'm going to hit Control-Z, and that'll take it away. I'll go back over, and connect. And draw the body again, the legs, and then put his arms down a little bit. Okay, and then make sure we got the eyes and the mouth. Okay, you have 1, 2, 3, and then we can still see the 2 layers before us on there. Okay, and then if we want to preview, we only have 2 frames, or 3 frames actually, but it does take a second for it to have an actual video, because we only have 3 frames. It takes a lot to have actual movement in it, but we can see a little bit there. So we're just going to keep doing that. Go over. And then we're going to add frames, so we can hit FN and then hit F7 on the top. Okay. So now I want, my look went up a little bit. So now we just have him standing here right now, which is not really super fun, I think. So we're gonna have him do something. Here we go. So then we're gonna keep the head that we did, and then we can start moving the arms and legs around. There's the legs. And then, in honor of Caitlin Clark being drafted in the WNBA, we're going to make a little basketball come into frame. So here's our little guy again. And then over on the side, we're going to have a basketball shootout, and then he's going to catch it. So if we go over, like I said before, you have to, it won't let you use a color if you use this wheel up here. You can choose a color that you want, but then you have to add it to the palette. And then down here, we have all the colors, and then we can hit orange, since we want a basketball. Okay, so once this bar is what you're using, so before it's black and now it's orange, meaning that's the color that's in use. So what I'm going to do now is just make a little orange spot on the side, and then it's only going to show up in the white part. Okay, so then we can duplicate a layer again, hit FN7, we have our next layer on, and then I'm going to add the basketball first this time, and then do the body since I'm already on the orange color. And then we can go very top is the black color. So then we're going to go over him again and head in the same position, and then have his eyes. He's looking towards the ball, so we can move it to the right a little bit. And then have the legs. They can stay the same. And then we're going to move the arms. So we have them going towards the body. Just a little bit on this darkest layer here, not this light one. Gonna move it to the right, and then we can do the same on this side too. So we want to do very small motions, because if not, it'll be very like clunky, and very just a little messy and not very smooth in the final animation. So we want as many frames as possible. Okay, so we have that a little bit done. We're gonna hit FN again, and then hit 7. So I'm gonna go over the body this time, since I'm already on the black color. Get his head shape. Have him move his eyes a little bit. Hit Control Z if you make a mistake. Move his eyes. Get that smile in there. Legs up. And then we're gonna do the arm again. Slowly moving up. Okay. And let's go click on orange now. Go down. Okay. And then we're going to go slightly over what we did before. Pull that up. And anything in this gray portion doesn't matter. It's not going to show. It's only the white stuff. Or the stuff on the white page that'll show up. Okay. So then that's that frame. And we're going to do the same process again, where we keep flipping through. And then this ball is going to get closer and closer. go forward in the video, I did about 2 more frames. And then another thing that you can do if this is getting a little too blurry for you or a little too crowded, you can go over here to Onion Skins on the left banner again. And then where we have previous selected, there is this number 3. If you go up and down, that changes how many frames you're seeing in the onion skin. So if you go down, it'll only show the last 2, and then go down to 1, it'll show the last 1. I like having the 3, but if that's too overwhelming, you can go down to just the 1. Okay. And then now I have my basketball in frame. I did make a little jump just to get it moving a little quicker since its arms are raised a little bit high. And then you're just going to continue that pattern of adding the layer and then drawing up the arms until the ball reaches it. So I did skip ahead again. Now I'm completely finished with my 15 frames. I have the ball in his hand, and then we can hit play again to see how it looks. Okay. And then we can go through the layers just to see if there's anything wrong with our layering, or if there's any frames missing, or if I have the one without drawing anything on it. It looks pretty good to me. And then we can hit play on our video over on the right, and it shows the whole thing. And then if you want to get rid of the onion skin, okay, and there we have it. There's our animation. And then if you want to, I might add some duplicate frames at the end, just so there's a moment to breathe out there. And him successfully catching the ball. Okay, let's play that back one more time. There you go. Okay, and that's how to use 2D Pencil.